So welcome to podcast number, I don't know what number this is.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time and we still have two that we
Okay.
recorded and I
Dimitri has
haven't.
a job. I'm in Spain. Last
Yeah,
time we were like, it was very different. It was summer. Summer is over now. It's been a
yeah.
very long time.
It is October 23rd, a week after Dallas
No,
Bachata
no, no,
Festival.
don't say the date. Don't say the date.
Don't say the date.
Spotify, like we take forever editing. Okay, so did you even
Yeah.
say the year?
Well, we wanted to do this one as if there was no edits. So just like I'll
Ah.
just do like minor edits, like if anything.
We'll see.
Huh?
Okay, we'll see about that.
Yeah, if we just say anything inappropriate, we can edit that out.
We won't say anything inappropriate. We got that out of our system.
Okay, yeah. So today we're gonna talk about what did we want to talk about? Dallas Bachata Festival, our
Yes,
travels,
tell me everything about that. All the gossips, everything.
all the gossip.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I
this,
have no, actually, let me ask you, was
Mhm.
this the first time you've danced since, like the lockdowns? I know you dance a little bit here and there, but like, is this like was this your first like real party, like dance party?
So in 2020, I think I danced like 4 times. I went to one social,
Yeah.
practiced with a friend, and went to a get together once. So like 4 different occasions in 2020 that I danced. And in 2021, this year, it's October, and I've only danced maybe once.
Ah, I'm very curious to know how you felt. I'm very, very curious.
Shockingly, I didn't feel rusty. I didn't feel like everything just snapped into place and it was perfect. So all of my dances at Dallas Bachata Festival were pretty perfect. I had a lot of really good dances. One bad dance, which was pretty epically bad as well, that I'll tell you about. But all of them, like I've got a few compliments. One lady was like, "Oh my God, this was the best dance of the night," and I was like,
Oh,
"Wow,
super.
that's a great, that's the best compliment ever."
Yeah.
But I think like the closer I get to the end of the night, towards like 5 a.m. or something, the more tired I get, and at that point, my dancing like quality of my lead is just plunges, just like terrible. It's just like worse and worse.
Interesting. You said at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I think the social ended at like 5:30 or 6 or maybe somewhere.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Well, I
Yeah,
guess parties here that end that late on like a Monday.
yeah,
But still, I haven't made it to that late. For me, usually, not now, but like I've noticed that over the years when I go to congresses or big parties, I around 3 a.m. I'm starting to feel tired, and
yeah.
usually that's the time when I have to decide if I just go home and sleep or if I stay longer. I push it a bit longer and I'm like, I'm not enjoying it. I feel tired. But if I keep going, there is something magical that happens between 3:30 and 4 a.m. that if you stay up, at least to me, like if I stay up if I cross that line,
Hmm.
my body just like wakes up. And then I have the most amazing dances ever at like 5, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 9 in the morning. But yeah, it's just about crossing that line. So maybe at 5 you were feeling tired, but if the party continued, you will get the energy again at like
Maybe. I was
6.
feeling pretty disastrously terrible. Like I was falling asleep and I had just had no more energy. I was done. And then I saw, Joao,
And
huh?
that's after like you haven't danced at all in a year. Makes sense. Um, how long have you been dancing by then? Like what time did you go to the Congress? Did you do only parties or did you
I
take
well, I did the day workshops
oh,
and yeah, and then I got to Yeah, I went to the social at like 10:30 or 11, and then somebody told me like, "Oh, the social doesn't start till midnight."
Uh-huh.
And so I went to the performances, and like I watched the performances, and they were pretty interesting because um I don't know if they did that on purpose. Like the lineup was like there was some amazing like world-class performers, and
Mm.
one lady was just like incredible. Just the way she moves and the technique and like super detailed, and you could tell that she was like amazing. And then like right after there were some people that were like beginner intermediate-ish, and they were like not together, and I was like, oh man, I would not want to follow like a world-class performance. If I
Oh,
had to go on stage and perform, there was like some people that were performing, they were like super in sync and they were like world champions or something. And I
yeah.
was like, I would not want to follow that.
Ah, who wouldn't? But you know, maybe they just did it for the audience because the audience is getting bored with like the beginners, and then they get like excited again with this super class, like yeah, first class dancers, and then they. So it's like for the audience to keep them entertained. It's like the beginner couples were like the ads in the in the show you see or something.
It's like it was kind of like you know some of those memes on Facebook that are like what you think you look like and then what you actually look like. It was kind of like that.
Oh, that's so mean. That's so
But
mean.
that's terrible.
But I saw some of the posts from the Congress, and it seems that they had a ton of performances. A
Yeah,
lot of them, good and bad, just
there was too
every.
many performances.
I do
I
want
didn't
to.
handle all of them. I just left. I yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. I do wonder if it's because there are not too many congresses happening now, and I wonder if they. I also wonder how famous the Dallas Bachata Festival got. I remember last year. I actually attended last year.
Mhm.
Uh, were you there last year?
Wait, last year was online.
Yeah, there you go.
I just
Yes.
like pulled up a video and I was like, wait, so this is just like we're watching YouTube?
Yeah.
I didn't really.
That. And they had a ton of performances and things last year. Because I mean, why not? It's virtual. They can
Yeah.
do it from anywhere. So I do wonder if it got more visibility,
Mm,
like more dancers were knew about the festival. How
yeah.
was it in terms of like how many people? Did it feel bigger than other years? Or
Did you come to Dallas Bachata Festival before? Like,
I've been there before, a
yeah.
long time ago. I don't remember which year, but it was a long time ago. Before we
Yeah,
met. That was a long
so
time.
yeah, so that was well the this year they gave Azuka and Kizumba room together, and
Oh yeah.
it was
I
not a
also
very
was
big
gonna
room.
ask you. I thought there were just like people soup bombing the Kizomba room.
Yeah, it was Zouk and Kizumba together, and it was actually really good, and the music was good. The DJs were really, yeah, like the music was good for both Kizumba and Zouk. And I went to the bachata room, and it was giant. There was a lot of people. It was pretty packed. It
Mm.
was it was big,
Was
and
it
yeah, it
how
was
was the
great,
level, the dancers?
huh?
How was the level?
The level was it was nice. It was good. Yeah, I think most of my dances were pretty great, and I danced with one lady who's an instructor from Brazil, and
Mhm.
she actually ended up teaching workshops here like yesterday that I went to. I went to
Oh
workshop.
yes, this I saw her. I mean I saw her the event, the Facebook event.
Oh yeah, so
Uh,
I danced with her on Saturday at Dallas Bachata Festival, and I didn't know who she was, and we
uh,
started dancing, and I was like, "Wait, you're a professional?" She goes, "Actually,
okay.
yes."
Oh, okay.
So,
So funny.
yeah, and she was super amazing. And then there was a one dance that I danced with someone. I don't know some other person that I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess it was someone from out of town, and that was the one bad dance that I had. Um,
Don't say
so,
their name or anything,
oh
Albert.
no, 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 no. So some random person asked me to dance zouk, and I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. So we're gonna dance zouk. So I start. You know how
Hmm.
you usually start going back. I try to do the basic,
Yeah.
and her feet are almost like she's like shuffling her feet and not moving them. And I'm like, okay, so maybe the song is too fast. Maybe she doesn't know the basic. And I'm like, that's fine.
Trying to dance kizomba.
Basically, what I do if the person doesn't know the basic or the song is too fast, I just start doing one step back, one step forward to try to get the zouk basic kind of started,
Yeah.
or I just try the walking basic like in kizomba, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I transitioned to the walking basic. Your face.
I'm trying to figure out the light. If I turn that light off, it's too dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I transitioned to the basic, like the Kizumba walking step, which I don't really know Kizumba. I just do the walking step, and
Uh,
like 99 times out of 100, it works, and it's just fine. It doesn't matter if the person knows Zouk or not. But this lady was almost like not following the Kizumba step on purpose, like purposefully not following, and I was like, okay. And so I stopped and I was like, okay, let's reset. And I tried the Zouk basic again, and she's not following. And I'm like,
is it
okay.
Chata? Maybe
And
she thought
she,
she was in the wrong room.
no, she like totally, she like stopped me and she was like, oh, let's dance Zouk when I did the Kizumba steps. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I misunderstood something. And I tried again, and she was not following. And I started doing like one step back, one step forward again, like slowly trying to like get to the beat, you
Yeah.
know, because I can't lead this. I
Uh,
can't. It's not working. And she condescendingly did on my arm like slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, like the Zouk beat.
oh.
And I was like, wait, I know, I think I know the Zouk beat. It's been working for me all these years. I
Maybe she was like, you know how you can dance to the beat or dance to the lyrics. Like maybe she was trying to dance to the other.
I don't know.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know.
yeah, and I was like really confused. I guess my face was just confusion. Like you just asked me to divide, and
Mhm.
uh and then the song ended, and I was just like, "Oh, thank you so much," and I just bailed. Um, so those were the two biggest highlights. The best dance of the night was with the Brazilian Zouk instructor, and then
Oh,
the
I
worst with someone I don't know. And
uh-huh.
that whole thing, the 4 minutes of that
Uh-huh.
worst dance, was
Yeah.
right in front of the DJ desk where Jules was
Oh,
DJing.
okay.
And I
Oh,
was
it's
like, oh no, I
that's
hope he's not.
awesome.
Huh?
No
Huh?
wonder why the music was so good for both. Like, so
I,
you
I
can.
was like, I hope he's not watching. I hope he's not seeing my face, who this is, because this is not working. I was a little like embarrassed.
So that reminds me of my experiences in the Madrid Zoo Congress, because that was the first Congress I attended since, you know, 2 years ago.
I know.
So uh, that was also interesting. I did get a bunch of like good dances. Like the moment I arrived there, I was lucky because I danced with the guy that happened to be my favorite guy of the weekend.
Mm,
So we danced like several songs in a row. That was good. It's all good. He's a good leader and all that. But honestly, my one of my best dances was with an absolute beginner.
mm,
Uh, because well, I'm assuming he's an absolute beginner. Like there was this guy who I don't know his name. I don't know if he was speaking like Spain or Spanish. So I'm guessing he's a local or he lives in some of the towns around. He acted a bit uncomfortable. I mean, I've done that, especially when I was a beginner or when I'm like in a place that I don't know anyone. He acted a bit uncomfortable, like he was walking in the middle of the dance floor, but like
mm.
I guess he couldn't get anyone to dance with him. He wasn't making eye contact with anyone. He was shy. But to me, he was clearly wanting to dance, because if he's on the dance floor, I mean, if he wasn't, he would just go to the door or something. But he was in the dance floor walking around. So to
Yeah.
me, like, okay, this guy wants to dance. And I was like, and I don't know, I feel like these are awkward times where like everyone feels the different way, right? The whole, I mean, to me, it was very awkward the first time I went to a place with a bunch of people, like last summer. I was like, what is this? I haven't seen this in like a year. Um, so I approached the guy, and I went with a smile. Well, no, never mind. No smile. Everybody's wearing mask. He can't see if I'm smiling. But I try to make as much eye contact as possible.
Just
And I
wave.
see, yeah, yeah. And I try to, I mean, I just approached him. Like I touched him and I, do you want to dance? And then I was making eye contact. He was not making any eye contact at
Mm.
all. Because yeah, it's like I mean, I've done that. It's like he's
Oh.
feeling uncomfortable. But I was like, I don't care. This guy is like, he hasn't got any dances. I'm just gonna keep dancing with him, and I'm gonna do the best I can. So even if he was just doing the beginner, I was like styling and like just giving my 100%. And then something like very cute happened, because then the guy seems to really enjoy it, and then he starts like looking at me. He wasn't making any eye contact. He looks at me and he's like smiling. I can tell he's smiling. And he asked me for a second song. And I say, oh yeah. And then he's like getting more confidence. And I am guessing he probably dances M Sook, because his Sook was awkward.
Mm.
But I could tell that he's been a long dancer, because he knew some steps that other people don't. I don't know if you know about M Sook.
I've
Like in,
heard about it.
yeah, it's like a thing in here in Spain. They came up with their own thing. I don't know why. It's not popular. Like I haven't,
Mm.
but they decided to come up with their own thing. And
How is
yeah,
it different than regular Zouk?
actually don't know. Like they say it's very similar. I've asked people around, but most of the people that dance souk now, they are people who dance with William, Kadu, Arthur. So they just dance the regular. Like
I
M
like
Souk kind of died
I
off.
like how you said I know it was Mzouk because it was really awkward, and I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, technically, yeah, practically. So, anyways, but the guy at some point, like, we danced like three songs, and then in the third song, he even like lift me, like to the side, like he did like a fun step, like even the other dancers were not doing. I'm like, oh, this is cool, and the guy's like complete, like his face lit up, and I felt just so happy that the guy looked like he was having a good time. And then we finished dancing. He hugged me. He thanked me, and or like to me that was like one of my favorite dances. It's not because it's not about like I've danced with other guys that I have a good connection. I'm following everything, and they say I'm following everything. And we're just dancing, 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 dancing. But then we dance like two songs, and they're like, "Thank you," and they go, and I'm like, why? Like
Mm.
we were connected, we were following, we were like doing like advanced moves, but still it got boring. How come? Like I don't know. Uh, but then I dance with beginners, and the like the emotions are there. Like this guy who was feeling awkward, and then at the end of the song was like smiling, and that just honestly that's the kind of dances that make my night. So yeah, I guess it's all about connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, but if that girl wasn't following the basic step, that must be awkward.
Yeah, it was a little awkward. But I'm also generally awkward, just in general. So I wasn't,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I wasn't sure if a part of it was just me being tired or if this was just, but I've had other dances right before that and that were
Yeah.
just perfect. And
Another thing I've noticed with some beginners, is that sometimes beginners, like complete beginners, are usually the ones who tend to correct you. And like they are usually the ones who are like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. And you're like, I'm doing this with the other 15 people. And it's, and then after a while, I find out they are not doing the basic step right. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's been a pattern. Like the absolute beginners are the ones that tell you what to do.
Yeah, and I've been that beginner. I've I'm sure I've done that before, where, I danced with someone and they like stumbled, and
Yeah.
and then I danced with someone else and they stumbled, and then
And
danced
you're
with
like,
someone
oh,
else.
this
And I was
wrong.
like, people here are making mistakes today. People don't know how to do the basic. And then I danced with an instructor and she did the same thing. And I was like, wait a second, maybe maybe I'm the problem here. So I forgot to use my microphone today.
Me too. But it looks better because we don't look like covered in gadgets like other times.
Yeah, this
Oh my God, that looks huge.
that's what she said.
That thing near to your mouth looks huge.
Thanks.
Nice way to put it.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
The dancers, the Congress, you enjoyed it. So, oh yeah, I'm also curious because I've seen you go through phases where, like,
Through
I don't know
phases?
how, yes,
Yeah.
uh, I don't know how you feel about, you know, the whole social distancing,
Hmm.
wearing masks, not wearing masks,
Oh,
uh,
that.
like, are you bringing your sanitizer everywhere? Are you, but yeah, yeah, I'm actually curious, like, what are the measures that you are currently doing?
Yeah, so
People are
when I
doing.
went to the Dallas Bachata Festival, I was
Yeah.
a little worried because I was like, I don't know, like
Hmm.
what if everyone here is gonna get the corona? I don't know. And
Yes.
I thought like, so I changed my mind when I went there. At first I thought like, oh, these people are probably irresponsible, they're not wearing their masks. And when I got there, there was like almost nobody wearing their masks, maybe like 5% of the people or something.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I was very intent on just wearing. So I got a cat mask with some cat pictures. I got a couple, and then it was fine at the workshops. Like I wore it on the workshops, and it was just fine, no issues. But then when I started social dancing, I noticed that. So you know how I dance in like cardio mode sometimes. Well, I started dancing maybe for like a song and a half, and it's just like hot air trapped on my face. And I started sweating and the mask got wet. And when a mask gets wet, it doesn't let air through.
Oh,
And I was just like trying to dance and I couldn't breathe. I was like struggling to like get air
yeah.
and I was dying and then I realized like can't can't dance with a mask on. It doesn't work. I couldn't do it. So I
Uh-huh.
had to take it off and then I was like everyone else. Then I
And you
then I
start
understood.
protesting outside.
Yeah, and then I understood why everyone else wasn't wearing masks is because you can't. It's really hard to be at a social where the temperature of the room is pretty high and you're dancing and you're sweating and it's just really hard to breathe.
Mhm.
And it wasn't mandatory or anything to wear masks.
Yeah,
And
they changed that. Did you notice that they changed that like after the tickets sold out?
oh,
Uh,
really?
After they closed the sale, they
Hmm.
say so all the time they had in their site masks are mandatory according to regulations of the state, this District of Texas, whatever. And then they closed the sale a few days before the Congress. They were like sold out, all that. And then I noticed. I think they had a post on Facebook like 2 hours before the event started. And like, by the way, vaccines are not required, masks are not required. Uh,
Mm.
if you are, uh, I don't know, something like super light. Like if you are coughing, try not to cough on other people's faces. No, no, I'm making that up. But like
You're making
super,
that up.
super relaxed, like super, not like.
Yeah, it was pretty relaxed, and
Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. I'm really thankful that they weren't required because I think people would just be miserable, and it would be really hard to dance at a social
Uh-huh. Well,
mass.
that's what happened in Madrid in the Zoo Congress. I mean, here, I actually been finding it pretty interesting in terms of like comparing Madrid with Barcelona, because I've been going back and forth. And
Mhm.
in Barcelona, I know they were more strict in general, like with the rules. However, I don't know if it's because they are more strict, people are more tired, but the socials in Barcelona, usually people wear no masks. But in Madrid, pretty much everywhere I've been, they are requiring masks all the time. In classes, in socials, in the Congress, it was the hotel staff or like the guards. Just even if you were like sitting down on the near the wall drinking water, they were looking at you and like, hey, you should not do that. You should not be taking off your mask. You should be wearing your mask at all times.
How do you
And then
drink water through the mask, or
you are not supposed to drink anything. You're not supposed to. I don't know. You're
really?
supposed to. You're supposed to go to the street, drink a sip of water, and then come back.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then so the room was completely closed, like no ventilation. I'm guessing that's because, well, I heard there was another Congress happening on the same weekend, and that party got canceled. That party got closed down by the police because they were hearing the music. Right now, it's not supposed to. Socials are not supposed to be happening. So I do wonder if they were trying not to make the noise get out. So everything was closed, no ventilation whatsoever, nothing.
Mm.
And then everybody's wearing masks. And yeah, you're in this room, it's not too big. Everything is closed, the door is closed, everything. And it's like, I don't know, 100 people wearing a mask. That was pretty hard. That was pretty hard.
Yeah,
Uh,
that reminds me of one time I went to New York Zouk
uh,
Festival, and we got into the room,
yeah,
uh, like to the social, and their AC broke,
okay.
conditioner broke, and it
Uh-huh.
was so hot in there. I
Yeah.
literally started sweating. I didn't even dance. I just walked into the room and I started sweating.
Like going to Houston.
Yeah,
A regular day in the summer. So imagine that, all that you said, with a mask on. it's
yeah,
it's
that's
actually
terrible.
funny. Like some people wear these masks that are like mesh, that are like very like it doesn't seem like I don't think they are like doing anything.
Yeah, I don't think it would protect you against anything other than, somebody physically splashing something on you.
But yeah, they're wearing these, they look prettier, and as long as they're wearing a mask, it's okay. That's legal. I
Mhm.
actually even found myself like when this whole thing started and I was wearing mask, I will wear the most like the thickest mask with like double layer, and then in the middle you can put a filter. I will put like two filters to be safe. And like, people were talking about double mask yourself to be
Yeah.
extra safe. And 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 even that, I would like cross the street to not be in front of other people to wear like that were like 2 meters near me. And and now I go to these places. I have to wear a mask because in Madrid everybody is wearing a mask. But I look like the tiniest masks because I can't breathe when I'm dancing. And then sometimes I even dance salsa here. Salsa and a mask is not possible. Or even like a souk, like a fast song. You
Hmm.
can't do it with a mask. Like you
Yeah.
start. need air.
You run
And
out of air pretty quickly.
yeah, and I just find it very interesting, like that experience you're telling me, and I've been noticing in people, like the transition. The
Hmm.
transition from like when you're not dancing and you're like, oh, I don't want to go dance, or well, I'm gonna go dance, but I'm gonna wear my mask at all times. And then people wearing masks, even if they're outdoors because they don't feel safe. And then eventually, like seeing that transition until you see them
Yeah.
indoors in a huge party with no mask on. I just find it pretty interesting. I don't know what's my opinion about it. It's just super interesting. I do
Yeah.
also, there were a couple of people in the Congress I went that were not wearing a mask. It might be a coincidence, it might not, but those also were some of my favorite dances. I wonder if it's also because I saw them smiling. Like when
Could
when we
be.
were
Yeah.
dancing, I saw their face. And the other people, like, I mean, you can tell if they're smiling by the eyes, but like it's not the same. And I was like, oh, I had a very good dance with that guy, and he's not that good. And like, oh, but he was smiling. That makes a
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
I don't usually try to smile on purpose. Like I smile when I'm literally like happy or in a good mood.
Really?
And
I don't think
but
you smile too much with me. I don't know what that means.
but whenever I don't smile, I'm pretty sure I look mean. Like I danced with someone at a social yesterday, and
Yeah.
like I know, like she asked me to dance, and she seems to enjoy dancing with me. But like when I dance with her, her facial expression is just like
Uh,
really serious.
Maybe she's just
And
thinking. That happens to
yeah,
me
I
all
I
the
think
time.
she's like serious in terms of like trying to concentrate.
Yeah.
But it comes off to the other person that you're dancing with. It comes off like, oh, they're not enjoying the dance. Maybe we
Yes.
should stop. Maybe we
Ah,
should quit dancing.
right.
So to
That
me, like
that happens
always,
to me all the time. I'm
yeah,
so concentrated. Well, it doesn't happen as much now because I'm trying to make more contact and like more eye contact, but it happened to me a lot over the years. And I'm like, why are people not dancing with me? I'm so focused trying to follow and they still don't like it. But it's because I'm like, yeah, like me making this face.
looking mean.
Yeah, but to me, like I'm just concentrated, really enjoying the dance. But
Yeah. But
yeah,
even after all of this, the socials, the giant socials with and workshops and nobody wearing masks, there was so many people there. It was a giant, giant social. And honestly, I haven't heard of anyone getting sick yet.
mm,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, so far, like no one
mm-hmm.
seems to have gotten sick from it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I heard about like there was a film festival in Toronto that was huge, and like from the staff they have a track of who got sick, and they were
Mm,
like, you know how many people got sick? Zero people. And these are like when they were working indoors, they were wearing no masks. It was huge. It was like an international film festival,
hmm.
and yeah, apparently at least for to their records, nobody had got sick.
One thing that I did differently on at this festival, so you know how like I used to travel to a lot of festivals like in different states for Zouk all the time. And every single time, well, not every single time, but like often when I would go to a festival, I you know how you start at 10 a.m., there's all day is workshops, and then there's like things to watch, performances, there's competitions to watch and stuff like that. And then you start the social all night until like 6 or 7 a.m.
And then
And
you gotta go sleep a few hours before
yeah,
the
so
workshop
barely
starts.
get any sleep at all. And that
Mhm.
goes on for like 3 days. And after
Yeah.
3 days, I would get sick. Like
Yeah.
every time like I would go to a festival, I come back and I'm just like sneezing and sick and just because I'm so exhausted. I haven't slept in days. I haven't barely eaten anything, and just physical activity all the time. So this time I decided I will do differently for Dallas Bachata Festival.
Mm.
Um, and I still didn't get enough sleep. But at least I took several different kinds of vitamins, one multivitamin with
Okay.
1,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
Yeah. Did you
Um,
get vitamin D?
yeah, so I used to be vitamin D deficient until I got my last job
Uh,
that seems to have
okay.
fixed this because I was in the sun a lot.
Oh
And
yeah, interesting. Yeah, and of course
yeah,
when you're
and I
in
did a
Texas,
blood
you get a
test.
lot of sun there.
Yeah, and I actually did a blood test before I started the locksmithing job, and
Uh,
after I started the locksmithing job, and
yeah.
before that, I was severely deficient in vitamin D, and the doctor gave me a prescription for a giant dose of vitamin D, a
Mm,
giant dose because I was so deficient, and I stopped taking it, and I was still deficient, and after I started the job, no longer an issue. Took a
mm,
blood test and it's like perfect. Perfect levels because
nice.
I was in the sun a lot. So
Conclusion, Rocio moved to Texas in winter.
yeah. And so yeah, so for the Bachata Festival, I took large doses of vitamin D, vitamin C with a multivitamin. I
Yeah.
took several different kinds of vitamin C.
What
So
about zinc? Have you heard anything about
yeah,
zinc?
so I took two different kinds of zinc as well, one regular and one zinc acetate. So that's supposed to help prevent viruses from binding to the receptor site, whichever, I can't remember what it's called, but it's supposed to help. So
Mm,
two different kinds of zinc, three different kinds of vitamin C. One is liposomal vitamin C,
sí,
and
sí.
mhm,
Sí, sí, sí.
yeah,
I'm
C. So yeah, and like usually you wouldn't take more than like 1,000 milligrams per day, but I was taking vitamin C multivitamin in the morning and then pure vitamin C liposomal in the evening, etc.,
Mhm.
etc. So I
I
was
heard
taking
that
like double the dose.
that's not a, I don't know, but I heard that that's not a problem with vitamin C because your body just flushes the extra, like it's not,
Yeah,
you don't get mad.
if it's you can if
But
you take too much, you could
there
get
are certain minerals or certain other vitamins that if you take too much, it might damage your body. But apparently, I don't quote me on this, but I think it's vitamin C that if you take it more, it's okay. As long as it has, what is it? Usually they come, is it folic acid? Like usually it comes with something that like helps neutralize it
I'm not
because
sure if it's calcium that increases absorption, but this one comes with calcium.
okay. Oh
Um,
yeah, calcium
one
doesn't.
of them, yeah.
Huh, okay.
And
Wait, no, I think that it's the other way around. Vitamin C increases calcium absorption. Yeah,
is
yeah,
it?
you need to take citrix to absorb. Or is it with iron? Anyways, this is
Hmm.
not a. Let's leave the nutrition one for
This
next
is
podcast.
an yeah. Um,
So yeah.
so
Anyways, you were taking vitamin C, vitamin D. Uh, you were taking a bunch of. Um,
yeah, that one's 1,400
what else?
milligrams.
Food. Like, were you eating okay during the Congress?
Yeah,
You
I
said
got some. I
sleeping
got
okay.
a yeah, I got like a little bit decent amount of food, not too much. So and yeah, and after this festival, with taking all the vitamins, of course you don't want to overdo vitamins to the point where you get liver damage, but like vitamin C is pretty safe. Like, I mean,
I
it's
think so.
not. It doesn't really become toxic at these levels. If you don't, if you take like 1,000 milligrams, it's not that. There's nothing that can happen. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, and like I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel sick. Felt
that's
perfect.
good.
I was
I
just
I
tired.
didn't feel sick either during the Congress, and I thought, I mean, we're wearing masks, but we're in this room with no ventilation. 100 people or more. And like, I don't think the mask are doing anything at that point. But I didn't feel like anything. I didn't feel like any symptoms whatsoever. Uh, so I didn't hear, but I don't know all of the people who went, but I didn't hear about anyone I know getting sick.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I guess I don't know. I mean, that it's good, whatever
That
it is.
is definitely
Whatever
good.
it is, it's good that people are not getting sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely good news. So I'm
Mhm.
happy about that. And I was like really diligent about like sanitizing my hands, not touching my
Oh yeah.
face, trying to not touch anything like my cell phone when I dance with people. Like I
Oh
needed to check my phone. Like I could feel my phone buzzing as I was dancing with someone. And then
yeah.
I went to the bathroom, washed my hands, and
Yeah.
then I got my
Yeah,
phone.
check it. I see.
So I was pretty
Oh, you're
careful.
very diligent. I'm still doing the like I'm washing my hands when I get home. I'm washing my hands after a social. Like I just try
Yeah,
to do it as yeah, as much as I can. I know I did that even before, before the pandemic, before
yeah,
everything.
me
I
too.
I noticed that when I started doing it, I got sick way less often. After a big party, I will always finish the party by like washing my hands and doing the whole 20-second between fingers back for
Yeah,
the whole song and whatever. And yeah, I don't know, but I'm still doing it, and I think I'm just gonna keep doing it because why not?
yeah,
And I have my hand sanitizer, and I just whenever I between breaks I use it, because yeah, uh, better safe than sorry, right? I Yeah, I did get sick actually just recently, like a few days ago, like coughing, and I
you were
wasn't
sick.
feeling good. Sorry?
You were sick.
Yeah, I was sick like a week ago. Like
Oh,
last Sunday. By the way, if you're ever in Spain, well, specifically in Madrid, I don't know about the rest, do not get sick on Sundays. Sunday is not a day to get sick. All
why?
farmers were closed. How is that even like farmers
Oh,
closed on Sundays? Because it's here people are like very obedient to their breaks. So I've told you before, like how they have their big siestas between some places between 2 and 8 p.m. They close, like the restaurants or stores, they close. And so don't try to run any errands during that time. But
wow.
then Sunday, I felt sick in the morning. I was supposed to go hiking in the morning and then go to a dance workshop. I didn't end up going because yeah, I wasn't feeling well. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the pharmacy, buy some, vitamin C, some tablets, some coughing tablets, some tea. And like, yeah, I saw like a few, like three pharmacies that are near my place, all closed on Sunday. And like, okay, what about the ones that are a bit farther? Closed, 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 closed.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not a time to get sick. I mean, because obviously, nobody gets sick on a Sunday. Who
Oh,
wouldn't?
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't get the memo, so I did get
That's
sick.
crazy.
Yeah.
What if you
No,
have migraine and you need a...
well, no, because you don't get migraines on Sundays. You are
Oh, you
supposed to
can't.
know that.
Yeah, that's right.
You're
Yeah.
you're supposed to know that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun. Yeah, it's yeah. Um.
so I'm
Uh-huh.
I'm super happy. I'm playing with my new laptop. I'm super happy with this LG laptop.
I'm so glad your video works finally.
Yeah, I couldn't fix it on the other machine for whatever reason.
So you
For
just got a computer. Why not?
well, I needed a new computer anyways, so
I
might as
thought you
well.
did it just for me, just to video call me.
Yeah, of course.
I
That's
was
that's the
feeling
only.
special, but not anymore.
No, you're special.
Yeah, that means.
Yeah, so this laptop is an i7 with 32 gigs of RAM, and it's one of those laptops. Like, the reason I chose the LG Gram is because I saw videos online of people like stepping
Uh,
on them. You know how, like, if you put a laptop in your
what?
backpack,
Yeah.
like if there's heavy books and you like lean on it, you could potentially break the screen, you could
Mm.
damage the laptop. Well, this laptop, there's videos on the internet of people literally jumping on top of the laptop with both feet, and then they open it and it just still works. One guy in China drove a motorcycle over this laptop
Wow.
and then
Why?
opened the
That's
screen and it
heavy
works.
duty. Why would you need that to be that heavy duty? Are you gonna like dance on top of your laptop, or is it
So
good spinning on top?
so it's actually not heavy duty. The laptop itself is, I think the reason why it's so unbreakable is because just the design, the board is completely flat, the battery is completely flat, and
That's
the
not.
screen is basically like a thin layer of plastic. So, like compressing it, like hitting it, like basically does nothing. Like there's nothing there to break. And it's
Uh-huh.
super light. It's super light. You put it in your backpack and you're not worried that it's gonna break if you drop the laptop, if you drop the backpack, if you accidentally lean on it,
Mhm.
nothing's gonna happen to it. And so I'm
Good.
super happy, and it's super fast. And I just bought a new mouse.
Oh
Hold on,
yeah.
I was gonna show you. So this is my little new mouse.
Ah, it's very tiny.
It is
Oh, you disappear. Okay, there you
super tiny thing,
go.
and it
Because
comes with a case.
it's actually not visible. It's when you put it very close, it disappears from the camera. Oh,
Yeah,
there
so
I.
that's the case,
Mm-hmm.
and you take out the mouse.
Why would you want it to be that small? Like, are you like, I
So
don't
it's
get.
just portable. It's super portable,
Mm.
and yeah, and you can just use it like
Is it
that.
comfortable?
Huh?
Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's super comfortable. And like you put it in this case and you can clip it onto your backpack. So I'm super happy with this mouse. And it's Bluetooth. It doesn't have a controller, so it connects directly to your laptop's Bluetooth, so you
I
don't have to have something plugged in.
I feel like you should like sponsor those things. You should, by the way, if you want to buy it, follow
Yes,
this link and I get 5% commission.
it's called Cap Clip Pro and
Cat,
Cap
cat,
Clip Pro, and it's
cat.
awesome. CAP.
Oh,
Yeah. So I've been
uh,
playing with this mouse.
that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's been a long time since our last one. I think
Oh,
our last one was in July. Was
was
it?
it?
I think it was. I think I was telling you like I'm preparing for my trip to Madrid and all of that.
Oh,
And
right.
yeah, and now like moving out from this apartment, I'm going to my next place. So time has gone pretty quickly.
When are you moving to your next place?
Now in 5 days.
In 5 days?
Yeah.
Is it still in Madrid?
Yeah, it's just like a few blocks around. I'm just happy because I'm gonna finally have a real size fridge. Because my current fridge doesn't have a freezer, and it's the worst because I cannot get ice cream. How can people survive
That
without
is
that?
unacceptable. That is unacceptable.
I know it's been tough.
It is tough.
But yeah, I cannot. I also I can't get frozen broccoli. So
That is unacceptable for a vegan.
it is. I mean, for anyone, frozen broccoli is like a must-have. Anyways, yeah.
So since last time, so I was just looking at another podcast that we did that we haven't posted.
Yeah, I
So we have
know.
two.
Okay.
So I guess we should post this one and then we'll post the other two. But in this
Yeah.
one, so in this one we I got a new job. You've
Okay.
already moved from
Yes.
Canada to Madrid.
Yeah.
The last one that I was listening to that we haven't yet posted was you were still in Canada and I
Yeah,
was still
the last two, or like every podcast we did, I was still in Canada.
Yeah.
We tried to do a podcast when I arrived here,
Mhm.
but your camera wasn't working. So that's why we have this. That's what you got on your computer, right?
Yeah, and we were discussing my previous job. I was still working as a locksmith
Right.
in the last one.
Yeah, yeah, you got a new job. Yeah, a lot of things happened. I mean, a whole
So
song happened.
so whenever I post that one, whenever we post that last one, it's gonna be like we went back in time. We're still
We were
talking about my job as a
feel like
locksmith.
I'm traveling in time these days.
Mm.
Because, you know, I chose to come to Spain. I wanted to come to Europe. And from the countries I was looking at, I thought it makes a lot more sense for me to go to Spain because I speak Spanish, right? Like it's, I mean, between all the other things, I mean, we have a lot of amazing dance artists here, and the weather is nice and all that. It was also like I speak Spanish. If I go to another country in like Eastern Europe, I love Eastern Europe. Like my favorite places in Europe have been like in Eastern Europe. But if I go there, I'm not gonna understand shit. I'm not gonna understand anything people say. Unless they are like, I go to a congress or something where they speak English. But if I go to their local classes,
Mhm.
I'm not interested in like learning Czech. It's not, it's a nice place to live, but like I'm not interested in investing that much. So,
Yeah.
anyways, Spain made more sense to me because I was like, I speak Spanish. It will be easy. However, now that I'm here, I'm finding this like culture shock because the Spanish I know is very different from the Spanish in Spain. And I don't use a lot of slang in Spanish because I also, I mean, it's been a decade since I moved out from there. So I don't, I just, to me, I thought I just speak like regular words.
Yeah.
But apparently the words I say are words that the Spaniards stopped using like 500 years ago. So like the way of saying talking, like I would like to talk to someone. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, to talk. And they're like, to talk. We don't say that. See, they say we used to say that like 500 years. Now we say to chat. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, so they went to Mexico. They colonized Mexico. They told them how to speak, and then they changed everything
And then
here.
they changed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
like
nice of them.
traveling back in time. I feel like I am a person from 500 years ago, coming here and telling them things, and like a way of say often. Like, do you do this often? They're like, what? They're like, oh, you mean habitually? We don't say often. Like I'm just putting examples of like
Yeah.
things that to me were like super normal. And apparently they're not a thing here.
Or
I mean,
you're learning new Spanish.
yeah, and I've been looking for a translator. I haven't found it so far. I'll keep you posted, but I'm trying to find a translator from Latin American Spanish to Spaniard Spanish. Nothing so far, because Spanish to Spanish translator, please.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, it's very interesting. So every 2 or 3 words, people look at me like weird, like they're trying to understand me, but they're like, mm. And then or I keep asking like groceries. Hey, I'm gonna go groceries. Do you say groceries? And they're like, no, no, we say the buy. I need to do a buy. And like, okay. I say, no, no, groceries is not a word. Like it's
Wow.
yeah. It's been funny.
If
Uh,
of anyone, I would think you wouldn't have any issues with going to
I
Spain with
know, I
because you
know.
speak Spanish.
Yeah, I speak Spanish. I'm like, this will be easy. But yeah, I'm just learning a new language. Except it's not as easy as like just going buying a book on this language.
Mm.
Because I already know the language. If I go to a store speaking completely fluent Spanish, I'm like, excuse me, I'm trying to find a book in Spanish because they're like, why? Or if I sign up for Spanish class, they're gonna be like, why?
Yeah.
We're like, well, because people don't understand like 60% of what I say. So yeah. But other than that, it's still good. It's still interesting. I find a lot of extremes in Madrid. Like things are all or nothing. Like people are rude or super extremely polite.
Hmm.
Like people are like not telling you anything and like not, or like cab drivers like dropping you like blocks away even though you gave them the exact address, and they're like, oh no, I don't want to go there, and they just drop you wherever they decide
What?
and they just go away. And like it happened to me the first day and I was like carrying 4 suitcases.
Go
Four.
out.
How can I carry 4 suitcases?
Yeah, I remember that.
So they just dropped me in the middle of a street and they were like, and this apparently is a very dangerous street. So then
Wow.
some ladies were like, oh, this is very dangerous. You shouldn't be here with those suitcases. You're gonna get robbed. If only someone could help you cross the street. And I'm like, they don't need to carry it. It's just like pulling it. They could help me cross the street with them. They're like, oh yeah, go find someone to help you cross the street. And I'm like,
Because we don't want to help you. Yeah.
like, okay, thank you. So yeah,
Yeah.
I felt like this, or like waiters like dropping you the plate on the table. And on the other hand, I've been finding people who like in the supermarket who are like, hey sweetheart, yes love, oh hey honey, yes, like super super like nice, super lovely. Or like the bank teller, yeah, the lady at the bank, I was like, okay, she's not gonna, they're closing in 10 minutes. She's not gonna want to, uh, uh, yeah, like provide any service right now. So I am gonna leave. And I asked her, like, excuse me, should I make an appointment for next week? And she's like, oh, no, no, I can help you right now. And then she starts helping me to create my account. And then she reads my full name. And she's like, wow, what a name you have. She's like, with this name, how are you not gonna succeed in life? I'm like, wow. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, I know. Look, okay. I'm just gonna hire her for, you know,
Yeah.
therapy or something. Yeah, so I just been getting like, but the thing is, I'm not getting middle. Like I'm getting super friendly people, or like people who don't care, but there is nothing in between.
Hmm.
And same with the food. Food is like super healthy or like absolutely not. Yeah, the restaurants, normal restaurants don't have a single vegan option, nothing in the menu.
How are you
But then
surviving?
there's a ton of like 100% vegan restaurants. It's all vegan or absolutely nothing, not even the potatoes.
Hmm.
So
Potatoes. Potatoes are vegan.
no, but then they put like cream and cheese and mayo and bacon and
Yeah.
dead animal. And I don't know. They just make sure to not have anything vegan.
Yeah.
So
Just got to add a
yeah,
little bit of death to everything.
yeah, they just need a bit of that on everything. But yeah, it's been very interesting how things are like extremes. Like just anywhere I go, it's like extreme. Extreme politeness or extreme rudeness.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
I'm liking it so far. Like I am. What I really like is like the environment. Like I went to a hiking tour, and most of the people were pretty old, and they were like over 70 years. It's over 60, some 75, and they were all like making jokes. The we were going in a bus with like 50 people, and it felt like a school bus. Like everybody was making jokes, they were singing songs, they were like, I was like, where yeah, where am I? These are not even young people, and they are all full of energy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been quite interesting, the culture here.
Mm.
I am I arrived thinking that I'm just gonna stay here for a year and I'm coming back and that's it. I am kind of falling in love. Like, I mean, the cities and the energy of people is just really nice. Uh, I don't. At this point, I still see myself going back, but I think I'm gonna come back to Spain at some point. I don't
Mm.
know. Maybe when I'm 75 and I can go to that boss and
You'll
make.
be one of those people.
I want to be one of those people. I really want to be. Like, there was this other lady. I think she was like 80 years old in Barcelona. There was a Kizomba social. She was celebrating her birthday. And she's like the typical old lady with like the short white hair, the long flowery dress, like the stereotypical old lady. I was like, who is she? Is she someone's grandma? What is she doing in the social? Did she
Someone's
get?
grandma showed up at the social.
Yeah, I was like, maybe she got lost or something. I didn't know she was that. And then I saw her dancing. I'm like, oh, she actually dances good. And then they announced the birthday party, and then she went to the middle of the dance floor only herself. And
Mm.
then everybody started dancing with her. And she's like, oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And like, I feel so loved. And I felt very inspired when I saw her. I just felt completely inspired. Like, I want to be her. So, you know how I want to be an old lady?
Yeah, yeah, I remember you telling me
I
that.
just want to be her. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
interesting. Hmm. I honestly, for myself, I dread the moment of getting older.
What do you mean?
I
Older every day.
I wish that I could stay the same age forever.
Really? Like the age you have now or younger than you are now?
Probably younger, maybe 25,
Really?
but probably know everything that I know now.
Well, no, no. You have to choose the whole package. With the whole package, which age? Which age would you?
Well, I think I would really like to physically be at 25, but I think mentally I was not. I think I was really stupid, and I think I was dumb. I wasn't able to make the right decisions.
Well,
I
but that's
wasn't
the
even.
thing. You have to choose an age and but the whole thing. You cannot be like, oh, I want to have the body of a 50-year-old and the mind of a 40. Like, you have to choose the same age for everything at least. Which
Yeah.
age would you choose? Maybe something in between.
Well,
Maybe.
if I had to choose together the whole package, I would choose right now
Okay.
because I think mentally I am more developed to make the right decisions and
Mm.
understand the people and my environment than ever before in my entire
Well, maybe
life.
you will feel even better and more when you grow older. You're gonna be like, oh, I was so silly 5 years ago, like your age now.
Maybe it's a possibility, or maybe
Mhm.
I'll get dumber. Who knows?
But wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want to know like how you feel after?
But either way, you're still able to learn, right?
Well, but if you're learning, you're getting older. Like, it's part of the whole package.
No,
It's
but I
not
would like to stay the
the same.
same age though, and be able
Just
to learn.
drink like, I don't know, natural teas and
Hmm?
just just eat healthy and
Yeah.
exercise and do all those things that keep you living longer and
Hmm.
sleep.
Sleep is
Sleep
pretty
well,
important.
drink
Speaking
water.
of speaking of ignoring sleep, there's another social
Oh
tonight.
yeah. Speaking of ignoring sleep, it's like 3 a.m. here.
Oh, is it 3 a.m. over there?
Yeah,
Holy
no
Jesus.
big deal.
It's like 7:47 here.
Okay.
And socials at 10.
Oh, okay. Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going, and I'm gonna try to look at some videos of certain moves that I want to practice and prepare,
Okay.
just like mentally remember what I wanted to
Good.
practice. Because
That's
every
good.
time I get to a social, I forget what I wanted to do, what I wanted to practice. Every time I
But
forget.
you do it before you remember. Like if
Maybe.
you do it now. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy, by the way, to hear you like going dancing again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and you
was
seem
really
happy.
Yeah, I was so happy to be at Dallas Bachata Festival this year, and I've never been that happy to be at a festival, at a
Mm.
congress, because to me before going to a congress was, I think I wasn't as fluent in kind of like Zouk and just kind of like yeah, I think I was kind of struggling a little bit,
Mm.
and it wasn't very natural for me, and just being at a festival, I didn't really enjoy being around people before. But
Oh, I
this time, I think after 2 years of not doing anything, not seeing
yeah.
people, not
Yeah,
dancing with anyone,
does it, right? Like
and
really.
just like, yeah, and just like constantly listening to music and imagining
Uh-huh.
which move or what moves I would do and how I would respond to that music. I think, yeah, just going to a dance social to after that was almost yeah, it was crazy.
Mm.
I almost felt like crying when I got to the Dallas Bachata Festival, and I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe there's dancing. Like after COVID, I didn't even think we would ever have dancing again.
Uh-huh.
I was like, how is that possible? Like,
I got to feel, I felt the same way. I thought
yeah,
it was gonna happen. And now I'm here trying to limit my hours to 6 hours of dancing every day.
every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there is like every weekend, every day in the weekend there are workshops and parties go until 5 in the morning, and I'm just like I cannot keep up with everything. But if I don't go, I feel the fear of missing out.
FOMO.
So like I'm like, what do I do? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna let's find a balance. And my balance is 6 hours per day. That's a compromise.
Man, if I danced 6 hours a day, I think I would be a professional by now.
I am not a professional. I'm
I
not.
think you are. You just don't know it. Um,
No. But yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I am. It feels so crazy. Like I went to a social today, just like a normal party, and it's like, okay, William is organizing it, and William and his wife Irene are having like pizzas after. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then I'm like, my friend asked me to record a video. Paloma was there. So I'm like, recording Paloma. And I'm like, oh, Arthur is also here in the background. Oh, and also Kadu. Oh, and Paulo. And then,
wow.
like, yeah. And then people are like having just pizza, chilling in the room. And then I go out and then I see Kadu just chilling outside. And I'm like, is this really happening? Like it just feels like a different universe. Just feels
Yeah,
like a reality show or something.
that is crazy. And these are all like my
Coco.
biggest Zouk gods idols.
Oh, mine too. So like how do I even approach them? I feel like weird. I feel like yeah, I don't want to stare at them like I'm their biggest fan because they are just like
Yeah,
these are just their people. They are
they're just
just
being
chilling. It's
normal.
not like Congress. It's just their normal life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah. It's been
That's
interesting.
crazy. That totally makes me want to go there and um go to all these socials and dance with all of them.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty good. Oh, I saw your friend. I saw your friend from Dallas here like last week.
Oh, yeah, Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I went to the Dallas Bachata Festival or something. He was just like here on a Friday, and then on Sunday he was gonna be in Dallas. No big deal.
yeah. Yeah, I saw him yesterday at the social, and I was like,
Also, oh
"Hey,
yeah, I saw him in the video.
Yeah, I saw him at the social. I was like, hey, my little friend Rocio says hello.
Ah, nice.
He remembers you.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the
He's
dance community. It makes you feel like no matter where you are in the world, you are like connected. You
yeah.
are like, yeah. Like you can go to, as long as they have souk, you always find a connection. Like, oh, this is a friend of my friend or whatever. But it's also like a small town. Like gossips go around. So
I think, for me, like I went to different places to like a social in different states,
yeah.
and it's always like you can go to a Zouk social and you can, even if you don't know anyone, you can meet people, you can dance with people.
Yeah.
But yesterday, like I danced at the beginning of the social, and then after that, I got so exhausted. I was so tired. I just like sat down on the couch, and then like I sat down on the couch for like 5 minutes, and then I woke up really confused, like where am I? And I was like, oh crap, I'm still at the
Oh,
social.
has happened to me in the past.
Um,
I
yeah,
used to take naps in the social. Like no big deal. I'm just going to the couch, sleeping for half an hour.
yeah,
I actually really enjoyed it. And then just like waking up and seeing all these people dancing is a nice feeling. It's like a
yeah.
uh,
I just sat there watching for a while, just watching people dance.
I also went to Barcelona to dance souk, and I found it very interesting in a different way from here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't see the day I went, I didn't see any artists or anything. There were actually people who've been dancing like lamba and souk for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And some people were dancing for a very long time. I will imagine like even over a decade. And some of these people were like, so they know each other for yeah, a long time. Some of these people were married, but it seems like both of them dance souk. Some
Mm-hmm.
people brought their kids, way too many kids. I saw like 6 kids in total. And the kids were dancing souk too. And
What?
like there was this woman like carrying her baby and just like doing body rolls and things with the baby in her arms, and the baby was just like smiling when he was like moving. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like he's just like Zook is gonna be his natural thing. And then this little girl, very enthusiastic for Zook. Like she was probably like 4, 5 years old, and she was like sitting on the bench, really looking at the Zookers and like observing everyone. And then somebody, it seemed like she knew everyone there because it seemed like a family. Like the whole Zouk feels like a family. Somebody brought her to the floor, the dance floor, and they started doing like the basic with her. She was following everything. And I was like, I've never seen this. Like I've never seen that many people, including children, just
Mm.
like dancing. And like other girls, maybe in their 10 or 11 years old, were dancing with each other, Zouk. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was just interesting.
That's
Very,
crazy. Can you imagine like what our skill level would be if we learned how to dance Zouk when we were like 5 years old?
I was telling my friend, watch this girl, the one that was 5 years old, like watch her and see her becoming like the next queen of souk in like two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just the skill level of like if you're starting off that young, like
Yeah.
and I saw this a lot in people, in musicians, because like I grew up in a musical family
Yeah.
where ever since I was little, I think I started playing violin when I was like 5 years old.
Mm.
And I went to a musical school where everyone was mandatorily playing their main instrument and they had to play a secondary instrument.
Yeah.
And I had to practice every single day for at least an hour.
Yeah.
And that was mandatory.
Wow.
And then when I moved here and to the United States, I think I was like 13 or 14 years old. And I saw people that were in orchestra and they started playing their instrument, like violin, when they were already like 12 or 13.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they like started playing last year. And
Uh-huh.
And I played something for them, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're amazing!" Blah blah blah. And to me, I was just like average. I was not super. I
Wow.
wasn't even warmed up. I was just playing something random, just that off the
Uh-huh.
top of my head.
It
And
makes a
they're
lot
like,
of sense. You had like, you might have been like, you might have had the 10,000 hours by then, maybe.
pretty sure. And
Wow.
I don't know. I just wonder, like, what our Zook level would look like if we learned Zook, if we started learning at like 5 years old.
Well, we're gonna see. You know, all these like famous instructors, they're all having babies now, or they all had babies like a few years ago.
Mm.
So I feel like 15 years from now, we're gonna see like a whole new level of. I mean, if they get them into Zouk, who knows? But
Yeah,
most likely they will. So
that's interesting. That's going to be a whole new generation of Zouk
yeah.
artists.
It's also interesting because I've never seen Sook in that way. You know how Sook tends to feel like this intimate, sexy dance.
Mm.
And out in the Congress, I think his name is Renato. So there was this teacher who brought his kids.
Renato Veronese,
I think it's him.
Brazilian. Yeah.
I believe it's him. He has young kids, right? So it was in the Congress in the weekend. There was like a marathon day. So
Hmm.
marathon success started earlier at like 5 p.m. And so we are dancing souk in the hotel, like, and then he brings like a, not a stroller, almost like a stroller, like a toy with wheels, where his little kid is, and he just starts running it around the dance floor with the kid in it. And I'm like, that's okay if the kid's entertained, but it's a bit awkward. I mean, we're
Yeah.
dancing and like doing like dancing with everyone, doing like this sexy suit, body rolls, whatever, and then there is just like a kid in the stroller passing by, and
Yeah.
it's I like, and there is like a weekend there, something they are doing
That's
in Barcelona,
awkward.
and they are like, oh, and people, if you are bringing kids, we are also having accommodation for kids and meals for kids. And I'm like, it's the first time I see this in an event. I hadn't seen that before in a souk event. Usually it's like all adults, right?
That's weird. Yeah. Wait, where was this?
There is a weekend there, uh, like a
In Madrid?
marathon doing they are doing in Barcelona,
Oh,
the
Barcelona?
Big Brother weekend. Yeah, super
Interesting. So that
excited.
must mean that a lot of those people have children.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of them, because they've been dancing souk for a long time. So I guess, I mean, I'm starting to see that in my community. A lot of
Wait,
people.
so if you dance Zouk for a long time, you automatically have children? I don't
Okay, you
understand.
know what? We need to sit down and I need to explain you a few things. Maybe camera, we need to have a conversation.
LOL.
uh, you know, in my community, like in Canada, some people are like, the whole getting married, having kids, but most people are like getting away from dancing. Like when they do that, they get away from dancing. What I
Hmm.
noticed in Barcelona is that, at least what I saw, I don't really know them, but what I saw is that they went to the souk parties, but they brought their kids with them. And I found it really amazing. Like, I hadn't seen that before, that's all. Or like Carlos and Fernanda, they have their little girl, and they bring her to every congress, and then they are like doing a demo, they're amazing, doing all these counterbalances, and then the little girl like starts walking around them, and then they carry her and they keep doing the counterbalances. That's
That
just
sounds
different.
dangerous.
Sorry.
That sounds dangerous. Doing counterbalances with your child?
Yeah, with the
Ever?
baby there, I mean, I'm sure they're safe, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just very different from like Suki is changing, and it's becoming this whole like wholesome family friendly thing.
Hmm.
That makes you bored, makes you
Sorry,
want
I'm yawning.
makes you yawn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
curious to see where it will evolve to. Maybe 5 or 10 years from now, or
Mm-hmm.
15.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
I wonder if we'll still have Zouk in 20 years.
I hope we do. Ah, we will. But
Wait, what
I,
was the state of Zouk in 2000, in the year 2000 or 2005? I think the earliest.
I like I know the places that have been dancing it for a very long time is Holland. They've been dancing it for like at least 15 years.
Mhm.
Obviously Brazil. Uh,
What year did we meet?
you and I
Yeah,
6 years ago,
2000.
15 or 16.
I'm not good at math.
I believe it was 15. I believe it was 6 years ago.
Okay, so you told me about this guy who was the first guy who brought Zouk to the United States and Canada. And his
Yeah.
name was.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. This is not being recorded. I don't want to be like lying
Okay.
on the on camera. I don't know. I have no idea who.
I
Wait,
thought Kaya was one of the first people who brought Zouk to the United States.
mm, I don't know if he was. I wouldn't say he was the first one, but he was a big promoter of souk early in the day. Uh,
Yeah, and I remember that there was in Dallas. So before I went to that very first Zouk workshop that you recommended,
uh,
um,
yeah, that was in 2015.
yeah, I remember Luis telling me that there was one Zouk workshop in Dallas before that, like a
Yeah,
couple of years ago or a year ago, I don't know.
yes. So I asked Luis because Luis is the I danced Luis. Oh, that was so I went to the Bachata Festival in 2013. Oh my God. Okay, I
That was
gotta go
Dallas Bachata
here.
Festival? Was it
Dallas
Dallas Bachata?
Festival. Yeah, I went in 2013.
I didn't know they did them back then.
Yeah, they've been doing it for forever, and even then, it has been a while. So I danced with Luis that day, and I could see in his moves he was throwing like some Suki style. So I said, "Did you dance Souk?" And he said, "Well, I did one workshop here in Dallas."
Mm.
And yeah, so
Wait,
that
what
was
year that was? That was 2013
2013, and he told me he had already taken a workshop of Souk
in Dallas.
in Dallas. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it was like 2 years before.
Yeah, that makes sense. That the story matches. Yeah, I was so crazy to find like someone dancing souk in Dallas. Before that, I went to Vegas, and I mean just for a bachelorette party, and I was looking, really hoping to find someone who danced souk there. And yeah, of course I couldn't find, but I was just like, I mean, because I at those years I was like crazy addicted to souk, but souk wasn't that popular in many cities. So I mean, most of the cities had a very small community. Um, yeah, it's just been interesting. How has it been evolving? Like even here in Madrid, souk has only been for like 2 years. I guess when all these guys moved here.
That's crazy.
And it's such an interesting thing because I mean, I went to the Congress. You know Sandy, right? Sandy,
Yeah?
yeah. So I went to the Congress. Sandy was giving a workshop, and some guys local, like from Madrid, they are like, "Who is this guy? Is he good? Is he famous?" And I'm like, "What?"
Is he any good?
Yeah, they're like, "Is he any good? Is he any famous or who is he?" And I think they said the same about Cadu or even Paloma. They're like, "Oh, is she Paloma?" And I'm like, "What?" Everyone know Paloma.
I think I was searching, I think I was, before I was searching for videos of Mafi Zucker,
Yeah.
and And I think the oldest Zouk video of him dancing was 2008 or 2006 or something,
Oh, okay.
or at least that I could find.
I see. My first Zouk social was in 2011. No, I saw a free class of Zouk in 2010. But I was like, whoa, that looks too crazy, too many like head movement. So
Too
like,
crazy.
whoa, no, too weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a video from 2009, Mafia Zucker, and he was already doing crazy, crazy stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then
It's, I
he evolved
mean,
from there.
to me, you say 2009, and I don't feel like it was that long ago, but I guess it was.
That was 11 years ago.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem that long.
Yeah,
But then when you think, okay, a kid was 5 then, and that kid will be 16 now, like, okay, that's a lot.
yeah. But to
But when
me,
uh-huh.
it's just I so wish that I started learning Zouk before. Like, not 2015, maybe 2005, 2006.
Well, yeah.
I would have been so much better by now.
Well, but there was no Zouk in 20s. You will be very frustrated for many, many years because there was no Zouk in North America. Unless
Right.
you were living in Holland or Brazil.
Yeah, I would have to move.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I think it happens when it's meant to happen. Like, it's okay. You still have time. You're still young. Just enjoy the parties now. You've been dancing for a while now. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you took your first workshop with Kadu in 2015.
With Kayo Victor.
Sorry, with Kayo, yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
2015.
and actually, when I first took that workshop with Kayo, I like you told me to like, yeah, you should sign up, you should do this
Yeah,
workshop.
I
And I
remember.
was like, what is this Zouk thing? I don't understand. I
Yes.
I've never seen what it looks like. I didn't know what it was.
I think I sent you videos after you said that, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, but I still like didn't have an understanding like what
Uh,
is this thing?
yeah, yeah.
Why is it different than like salsa or bachata or something?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so I went to that first workshop and I was a little bit late and like it was like a beginner workshop.
Yeah.
And he was on stage. So this little dude is on stage and all we did is like clapping the zouk rhythm and stepping, clapping and stepping because apparently people weren't getting the how to do it. So for most of the first class, we were like clapping and stepping and I was just like I've never seen him dance. I didn't know if he knows how to dance even. And I was like, who is this dude? Why are we doing this? I don't understand. This is totally stupid. Like he didn't do any demo. He didn't do anything. He didn't show us
Did
what it's
he
supposed to
bring
look
a
like.
partner, or was he just himself?
No, he was just himself. And I was like, what is he doing? Why are we doing this? And I just thought it was the stupidest thing. And I didn't want to clap anymore. I didn't want to
Why is
clap and
this girl
step.
inviting me to this? Why is she sending me to these workshops?
Yeah, and I was like really disappointed with the first class. And then
Uh-huh.
I went home, and then the next day I came in for the second
And
class
why
because I've
you
already
did?
paid for
Why
it.
you- Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I've already paid for the second one. Oh, and you told me, I think I chatted with you, and I was like, this is stupid. And
Ah.
you were like, well, you've already paid for the second class. You should still go. And I was like, okay, fine. So I went to the second one, and then I really liked it because he was actually showing us like some cool moves.
Uh-huh. That's very nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I definitely kind of hated my first class
Uh,
ever.
Well, I'm glad you already paid for the second one.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's so funny. Like I've been thinking or hearing about how certain people like got into souk. Most of the people were already dancers from other. Almost everyone was already dancers from another style, and then somebody inviting them to souk. Like it's usually that way, and it's just interesting. It's very interesting how this community has been. Because, like I said here, like honestly, I feel like I'm traveling in time. Like, like I told you with the language, I'm like traveling
Mm,
centuries ago. I'm like from centuries ago traveling to this time. With Zook, all like the community here is really young. Like the no, not the people, but the community is only 2 years old.
mm-hmm.
So they don't know these artists, just like you and I didn't know them in like 2013 or something. We will be
That's
like, or like 2015, we'll be like, who's Paloma? Who's Sandy? We will be just doing these questions, right? So they are doing these
that's so
questions now.
crazy.
And I'm like, I feel like these are people from the past.
And Kadu is like world famous. I'm like, how can anyone not know who he is?
No,
That
I
makes no
know.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. People like today in the search, they were like, "Is that Kadu?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Kadu." Like, you don't know who Kadu is. Yeah, it's just so interesting because it's like this place feels like a time travel, like back and present. Like in certain ways, I feel like I'm coming from the past, but in other ways, I feel like I'm coming from the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how lost my train of thought.
Bicycle thought. You
My train of
don't
thought got derailed.
you don't know how to. We were talking about the
Oh,
dance.
yeah. I don't know how anyone could possibly not know these people because for me, like, I was such a huge fan that I think I've watched, you know how I would watch and analyze body language in videos? Well, I
Yeah,
would watch, I think I've watched every single video of Kadu and Larissa that
yeah.
exists on the internet.
Uh-huh.
Pretty sure. And like, it's always interesting, like, when I see a Facebook post and
Yeah.
somebody's asking, like, what is your favorite Zook video? And people are posting like random videos that they know of. And it's always interesting when I look through that list and I've seen all of them. And I'm like, oh, I know that one. I know that one. I know that one. And I know I off the top of my head, I remember every single move that, that they do and in those videos and what I
Yeah.
liked, what I didn't like, which is
I was
not
a
I liked
really
everything.
huge fan of Evelyn. Even before her video with
Oh,
Sandy. Even before that, I would watch her dancing with Adelio, and I just kept watching her video over and over and over and over. And like, oh, it's been an hour. And I was just watching it and watching. I loved her style. I loved her just, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I think to me, Evelyn is probably one of the best just Zook fellows slash instructors that are just the highest level
yeah.
that I've
Yeah.
ever seen or
Uh-huh.
danced with. And
I agree. She was Mafi's partner as well, and like
yeah,
Mafi and Evelyn, like wow. Like I mean, both of them are
wow,
amazing on its own, and then together, oh, it's another level. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And that's
been
why
so
like
challenging here. Like I'm taking workshops with William. I want to take workshops with Arthur. I'm gonna start to go to Barcelona for Michael and Alini. Like I just doing all this training, but then I need to balance my time because I also need time to just be in front of the mirror, going over and over what I've learned.
yeah,
And and it's been like, do I
slowly
do that
step by step.
or do I go to a party? Now we're gonna start to have two big Zoom socials every week. And I'm like,
Mm.
what do I do? Do I dance socially? Do I train? I also need to even do things like improve my flexibility to be better at that. And I'm like,
I think
uh,
it would be
I need time. I need more years of life
I
to
think it
be
would be
God.
of great benefit. I think it would be of great benefit to uh spend at least a little bit of time going over those things and movements in front of the mirror. And it doesn't have to be a long time.
Hmm.
You could do it like right before going to a party so that you can kind of have the motor memory program that you can engage in practice.
That all sounds good, except even before a party, there is no such thing as before a party. Because I finish work and immediately I have to run to the party or I don't make it. There is no 10 minutes of spare time. There is
What
no
do you
such.
mean? What do you mean by I don't make it?
I work till night, right? Some days I work until 11 p.m. Luckily the parties go until like 2 a.m. in the weekdays.
Yeah, but
But
you
I
can arrive there later.
I make I it's 1 hour to get there.
Oh,
So yeah, it's like, oh, those 10 minutes, I might not even, and it's not like 10 minutes. There is no such thing as training for 10 minutes. It's like setting up the room, setting up everything. It will take more than 10 minutes.
yeah.
So it's like, I mean,
But
yeah,
the maximum benefit. Remember those calculations that I did for the exercise program that I did for the morning, and each specific task training for 5 or 6 minutes.
yeah,
36 different exercises for three
yeah.
hours. So I think the maximum curve for benefit is actually pretty low amount of time.
Hmm.
Like if you concentrate very
I
deeply
know.
for like several minutes, you could get as much out of it as, training for a couple of hours.
But the thing is, I mean, also flexibility. I know that if I do stretching for like 6 minutes a day, it will improve drastically. But just like that, there's a bunch of other things that, oh, only if I do it for 5 minutes a day, it's gonna change my life. And if I have a lot of things like that, and
Yeah.
it's more like, I mean, stretching is important. So is meditation. So is practicing dance drills. So is like, so
Yeah.
is running to the mat
That's
just so I
why
don't miss it.
Yeah,
And
and
I
that's why I made the list.
party.
Yeah, and
So.
that's why I made the list. It's a whole list that you have to follow every morning. Well,
But even in that list, like you're missing things that I have in my list.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean, you have your own lists of things that you
yeah,
want to practice.
yeah, and yeah. Usually they take like 5 minutes each, but I still don't do them every day because even if I just went to that list, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. Oh, that's an okay. Okay, this is for next podcast because we already. I mean, it's almost 2 hours or something, over an hour.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, I've been reading a bunch of books on the topic of distraction because
Sorry.
it's
I
uh,
was just looking up into space.
no, I thought you were just completely going
Distracted.
on purpose,
Yeah.
completely playing along with what I said. Right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and next time we'll talk about that. I've been reading a bunch of books about that, about focus, concentration, how to prevent distraction in this world and era. This is one thing that I've been facing that has been the most challenging here. There is so much activity and it just feels overwhelming. And I'll tell you what I found and I'll tell you what I discovered next time. But yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's it. I think you should go get ready for your party, and I should I should
Sleep
go sleep. It's 3:30 a.m. So
3:30 a.m. Oh my Lord.
I still feel full of energy. I could go dancing right now. The party's going till 5, so I could still make it for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, not today.
Yeah, you couldn't fly in to Dallas before the
Yeah. Oh
social.
yeah, and go to your suit party, right? And then go
Yeah.
back. No big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish we had teleport. So,
We kind of do. Oh, the trains in Spain feel like teleport. I
The what?
mean, it's 600 teleportation. Like it's 600 kilometers to Barcelona. In
Oh,
2 hours, I'm there. 2 hours. Like it takes me 2 hours to go from one place to Madrid to the other.
wow, must be really fast. Fast trains.
I think they go up to 300 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to chew gum because my ears get how do you say it? Like
Popping ears.
yeah, like because of the speed, it gets uncomfortable, but
Oh,
not a big deal. 2 hours and I'm there. And it's not like an airport. I don't need to be hours before. I just need to be 10 minutes before. And they drop me right in the center of the city. So I'm just like, I just get off with my backpack and then I just go back, get some food, walk to the dance studio, take the class, come back to the train. No big deal. And
yeah.
then the train here is like 10-minute walk from where I live. So
Wow.
I just go like 1,200 kilometers a day just for a dance workshop. Like, you know. I feel like I'm teleporting there.
I wish there was a train from Madrid to Dallas. Wonder how long that would take.
Oh
Wait, do
no.
you know how many miles it is? The distance there that takes you 2 hours?
I don't know. You also need to hold your breath for a while because you're
What?
under
Hold on. So you're going from Madrid to where?
Barcelona. It's 9 hour drive, I think.
Let's see. Distance. Madrid to Barcelona. High-speed train, 2 hours and 45 minutes travel time.
2 hours 30. The
Oh,
fastest I've seen so far. 2 hour and a half.
um,
Are
trying
you
to see what.
disprove? I'm trying to disprove myself.
No, I'm just trying to see what the distance. Barcelona is about 380 miles from Madrid. Okay, so 380 miles
Like
on.
I looked driving was 600 something kilometers.
Okay, distance from Madrid to Dallas is 4,941 miles. So about 5,000 miles. And this is 380 miles. So it's a lot more.
It's a lot more, yeah. It is a lot more. And
It is
also it's
a lot.
underwater. And also it's crossing an entire ocean.
Yeah, you would have to swim. Oh, somebody in Dallas. I was in orchestra. I was playing with an orchestra, and somebody came up to me and they were like, "Hey, where are you from?" I was like, "I'm from Moldova. It's a country in Eastern Europe." And they were like, "Oh, do you guys have airports there?" I was like, "No, I walked." What what is this question?
I told you I almost went to the airport in Moldova, in
Oh yeah,
Chisinau,
Chisinau
Chisinau,
chicken.
Chisinau,
Chicken.
Chisinau, chicken. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost went there when I went to Turkey. I wanted to go there just to be like, hey, I'm in your town.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up getting one to Greece. Um, that I ended up getting for free because it was 2 hours late, and then they just gave me the money back. So that
Oh,
was,
that's
that
nice.
was cool. Yeah. But yeah, I went there. That was that I
Yeah,
didn't go.
I want to travel there. I want to travel there.
You should. You should totally. You have your passport now. Before
Yeah,
it expires,
it
then
expires. Oh shit, it does expire.
they do
Oh
expire.
man, I think I need to drink some coffee before the social,
I think you should. And I think I should drink some water
and you need to
and get
sleep.
ready for bed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Alrighty. Well, it was super awesome talking to you again.
So nice to talk to you. I'm so glad we did. Oh, sorry. I just dropped the lamp to the floor. There.
I hope it's not broken.
No, it's all good. There. I feel like I have a or
Yeah. So next
yeah.
time, sorry, you were reading 2 books or one?
No, I'm reading like 17 books. Because I'm so you know?
Typical. That sounds like you.
I when I read, like when we read about gratitude, I couldn't decide which book to read, so I just go and skim through the books, through a bunch of books on a similar topic. I'm
Mhm.
doing the same for distraction. I'm so distracted to concentrate on reading one book. So I'm just going through a bunch of them, seeing what advice they give me
Yeah.
and see what I learn from them.
And that's why you probably need the book summary things, like Blinkist.
No,
Yeah,
no,
because you could do the whole book in like 15 minutes.
no. Because
And then you can read whichever one you like out of
no,
those.
because it's happened when I read the full book and then you read the blink list. I tell you things that you had no idea because blink list doesn't cover those.
Yeah.
Like some parts of the book, the most interesting are the anecdotes that the book says, and blink list is not cover. It's not gonna cover anecdotes because blink list is a very short summary. So
Yeah.
some things that are super interesting in the book are never gonna be covered in blink list. So no, I still like doing my mind maps and just going through the whole. I'm a big fan of the holistic way.
Mhm.
Like if you eat an orange, don't drink the orange juice, eat the whole orange. I think we should. I don't know, but I'm a big fan of reading the entire book.
Yeah, me
Except
too.
now that I'm going through 17 books and I need to go fast.
No, me too. Well, if I see the value in reading a specific book, I'll get the book or I'll get the audiobook. But I use Blinkist just for like usually for books that I've already read that I need to review to remember the concepts. Like I'll listen to like a quick summary, or if
But that's what I
there's
do with
also
mind maps. Because if I
yeah
already read it, I go through my mind map and I remember. And because I wrote it, I feel like I remember it better.
yeah
Because it's like when you learn something, it's better if you teach someone. It helps you remember things. So in a way, making the mind map helps me remember those things.
yeah it is a concept of kinesthetic reinforcement. Um, yeah, in psychology.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, anyways, we'll talk about that next time. There's a few
Yeah,
other books that I haven't in the wait list, but
cool. I can't wait for
it,
next time.
yeah, me too. It had been a long time, and during all this time, I didn't read. Life got pretty crazy the last few months,
Yeah,
and it's been a
same
whole
here.
summer without talking with you. So
Yeah,
I'm so glad, and I hope we keep doing this like during fall and winter and all of those
of
times. We'll
course.
find the time, even if it's 3 in the morning to me and or early morning for you. We'll find a time.
Yeah, we can do
Or like
whenever.
late night for you, early morning for me.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, have
Alrighty.
an awesome time dancing today. Thank you
Thank you.
for talking with me today. And if anyone is listening, thank you for listening. I'm still super shy thinking that other people might listen to this. But yeah.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and talking to me, and can't wait till next time.
Me too.
All right, later.
Bye.
Bye.